Welcome back, our dear candidates. In the third session, we talked about rays and beams. And in this session, we are talk about the effect of light on different materials. The effect different materials have on light, and these materials have been grouped into three. We have the transparent objects, we have the translucent objects, and the opaque objects. Transparent objects are materials that allow most light, or we can say that allow all light to pass through them. We have examples. One, clear air. I'm emphasizing the word clear because in most cases the air may not be clear, so that does not make it a transparent material. The same applies to clear glass. We have some glasses which are not clear, and if it is not clear, it means it does not allow all light to pass through it. Then we have clear water. If the water is clear, you can able see or look at its bottom. But if it's not clear, then you're not able to see the bottom very well. Take an example of water in a swimming pool. In most cases, when the chemical is added, you can't view its bottom very clearly because it does not allow all light to pass through it. We're talking about the effect of light on different materials. And these transparent materials, the effect that they have on light is that they allow most light to pass through them, as shown in this diagram. Dear candidates, an effect can be negative or positive. So that's why we're saying that they allow most light to pass through them easily. It may be negative or positive. So the diagram here clearly shows a transparent material. In this case, I've used a clear glass, and like you're observing, the rays of light are coming and meeting this object, but there is no any obstruction because it is clear. So meaning that most light will be able to pass through. So that is the effect. There is a point to note. We can see clearly through transparent materials because they allow light to pass through them easily. That's why, for example, a lantern lamp has a glass which is clear, which means that it is able to allow all the light to pass through it. Two, we have the translucent objects, and we're saying that these are objects or materials that allow little light to pass through them. In other words, they diffuse light, allowing little light or diffusing light passing through them. Examples, we have the frosted glass, glasses that are commonly used in lavatories or in the toilets and the shower rooms. They are frosted, that even when you want to see through them, you cannot be able to do that. Then we have the colored glasses. These ones are very common, even in our homes, we have them. Then the tracing paper. There are those who are not good at drawing and are fond of tracing, so you can use a tracing paper and you draw a diagram. Then we have smoky air. If you remember, under transparent objects, I said clear air. This time I'm bringing smoky air. Smoky air is not clear. Therefore, it will diffuse or it will scatter light that is passing through it. Then we have a thin piece of cloth. Then dim light as well. So these objects, the effect that they have on light is that they absorb and scatter the rest of light in different directions. Or like I said, we can say that they diffuse light passing through them. So we have a diagram here that is showing the effect that translucent objects have on light. When you look at these arrows have changed direction, which means some light has been absorbed. Like in the statement, we're saying that they absorb some light and scatter. We have these other light rays passing through this material, but at different angles or different directions. So that is the effect that these materials have. The moment you try to look through it, the light is either absorbed or scattered in different directions. Then we have the opaque objects, and we say that these are materials or they are objects that do not allow any light to pass through them. In fact, the opaque objects form shadows after obstructing light. We have the examples. There are many, but I've cited only 5. We have wood, we have walls, the desk, the human body, then the stones. You can list as many as you can because these objects are really very many in the environment. So the effect that these opaque objects have on light is that they absorb some light and reflect. We are meeting this word again, but like I said, we shall talk about it in the other sessions to come. So they absorb some light and reflect the other light as shown in the diagram. When you look at these rays, they are traveling towards this opaque object, but you can see as it reaches or as it hits the object, we have a ray moving that direction, a ray moving that direction, then there is this one coming back, which means that that ray has been reflected, whereas these ones which are inside have been absorbed. So that is the effect that these objects have on light. We can as well say that they obstruct light and form shadows. That one is also allowed as an effect. There is a point here to note that when light falls on an opaque object, it forms a shadow. I said in your primary 3, you talked about shadows, the types of shadows and how they are formed. So if you place an opaque object in front of light, then it will obstruct the light and forms a shadow. You'll do an attached activity in your workbook concerning what I have discussed with you. Thank you so much, and do that work carefully.